Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Grace with Pastor James. So glad you're joining me in this episode. Thank you so much for always listening to me. Have you ever been in a situation where you just feel everything is just going the wrong way for you, and it seems as if you are not getting anywhere? And you look at your life, you look at things around you, and you just feel, oh, you have so much limitations. You have so much disadvantage, and you're wondering why that is. Today, I want to tell you that that limitation, that disadvantage, that thing that you think is working against you, God can use it to fulfill your destiny. So today, we're going to be looking at God can use your limitation. God can use your limitation. Let's look at a wonderful story in the Bible, the story of Esther. Esther 2:17. The king loved Esther more than all the other women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins. So he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. Like I said, God is not only going to use the gifts in your life to fulfill your destiny, God can also use your limitations to fulfill your destiny. And Esther, the story that we are looking at today, is a wonderful example. It's a wonderful example of that. Esther had several big limitations, and I mean big limitations. And that big limitation made Esther a perfect candidate for the role that the Lord wanted her to fulfill. You see, most of the time, because of what we consider limitation, we raise objections when God reveals things to us, when God reveals things that He wants us to do in our life. And we have example. If you've raised objection for what God has asked you to do in life, you are not alone. Welcome to the club. If you look at Moses in Exodus 4 verse 10, Moses raised an objection. Moses said to the Lord, "Oh my God, I am not eloquent. I stammer. Neither before nor since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and slow of tongue." Is it not the creator of heaven and earth that is calling you to do something? Why are you looking at your limitation? Again, Jeremiah also raised an objection that he was too young. In Jeremiah 1, verse 6, Jeremiah, "Then said I, Lord God, I behold, I cannot speak, for I am a youth." Wow. And in 7, "But the Lord said to me, do not say I am a youth, for you shall go to all to whom I send you, and whatever I command you, you shall speak." Stop looking at your limitation. Esther, like I said, had a lot of limitation. Esther was an orphan, adopted by Mordecai. Mordecai is somebody that was hated by the right-hand man of the king. Esther was a minority, a Jew living in a Persian country, a single woman amongst a male-dominated society. Of course, she had zero right. But God, in spite of all those limitations, in fact, God wanted those limitations because that is when His glory will come forth. So in spite of all this limitation, God was able to use Esther to fulfill her destiny. The limitation in your life might be part of the big plans that the Lord has for you. Esther could have said, "If only I have been chosen from a rich country, from a rich family. If only I had a better education than what I have now. If only, if only, if only, if only." Sometimes our if onlys deprive us of what the Lord wants to do in our lives. We live a life of resentment, always looking for other people and what other people have achieved or what other people are saying, and without looking at what the Lord wants to do in our lives. If you have that attitude, you will never fulfill God's purpose for your life. You need to realize that sometimes those unpleasant things that come your way, those obstacles that come your way, it might be a thing, it might be your job, it might be your study, it might be the people around you, but God is just using those things to mold you. God is using those things to prepare you for a bigger plan that He has for your life. God has ordained various opportunities inside that limitation that you're seeing so that you can make a difference. But sometimes it's hard for us to see the opportunities that God has for us because of the pain that we are going through, because of the challenge that we are going through, because of the hardship that we are going through. But look beyond your pain and see God's purpose for your life. Look at Job. Job was the wealthiest man in his time, but within a twinkle of an eye, everything, and I mean everything, was taken away from Job, including his children. What else will a man need to lose? And Job was asking God why all those things were happening to him, and the Lord was silent. Job said in Job 23, 9-10, I do not see him in the north, for he is hidden. I look to the south, but he is concealed. But he knows where I am going. Once he has made his decision, who can change his mind? Whatever he wants to do, he does. So he will do to me whatever he has planned. He controls my destiny. Wow. He still trusted in God. That his pain, the pains he was going through, they are not the end of the story, because God has a better story for him. The pain that you are going through today is not the end of your story. The pain that you are going through today, God is going to use that pain for a better tomorrow. You cannot figure out everything in your life and whatever God has placed in your hands, but God knows what's going on in your life. God knows the pain that you are going through right now, and He's going to use it to His glory. And I know that you're going to come out on the other side of the road, jubilating for joy. Thank you so much for listening to me in this episode. I pray that you will not waste your pain. I pray that you will not look too much to your limitation, but look to God, who is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And He will give you direction. He will show you the way. Thank you so much for listening to me. God bless you. And if this has blessed you, please do share it with other people so that they can also be blessed. Once again, my name is Pastor James Egodibie. I pastor RCCG, Solid Rock Parish, Derby, 55 Woods Lane, DE 22 3UD. If you are in Derby and you are looking for a Bible-believing church, we'll be so glad to welcome you in our midst. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.